Alright guys, unless you're completely disconnected from the way women work, you know that the easiest way to get into the pants of a lady is to start talking about how much you love corgis. Well, Bill Cosby would say he knows an easier way, but f*** him. Corgis are one of the most beloved little dogs on the market, and girls seem to be obsessed with them. Don't ask us why, we aren't your love experts. We're just here to talk shit about dogs. Anyways, it definitely couldn't hurt your chances with the ladies if you knew a few cool things about these overpriced and overhyped shit factories. Here are 10 incredible facts about Welsh Corgis. Number 10. There are actually 2 distinct breeds of corgis. So this one actually took us by surprise. Anytime we see a corgi, we're used to it looking all cute and shit. And they all look the same, right? Okay, we're going to stop for a second and say that we aren't racists. Even though they may all look the same, they aren't. We aren't racists, don't cancel us. Anyways, there are 2 types of Welsh Corgis, the Pembroke and the Cardigan. They're considered 2 entirely different breeds, but how can you tell them apart other than marking one with a black Sharpie when he isn't looking? Well, Pembroke Corgis look like stupid idiots because they don't have a tail. Also, they have pointed ears, whereas the Cardigans have rounded ears and tails. Cardigans have tails. You know what? What we were saying about the rounded ears. Look for tails. Pembrokes don't have tails. Cardigans do. Once again, we aren't racists. Number 9. The Cardigan Welsh Corgi is actually the older breed. Okay, Cardigan Welsh Corgis are actually old f***s. No, really. They came to be when a warrior tribe of Celts brought Corgis to Cardiganshire, whatever the hell that is. But this was all done around 1200 BC, so do the math. That means these little sons of bitches are over 3,000 years old. And if you're watching this and you're stupid, we're talking about the actual breed. We know full well that the dogs themselves aren't 3,000 years old. Although the breed has definitely changed over the years, they are descendant from a family of dogs that also include the Dachshund, which may be some German or Dutch something or other. We're not sure, it sounds stupid though. Number 8. The Pembroke Welsh Corgi isn't exactly a young breed either. So we may have given the Cardigan Welsh Corgi a little shit for being older than dirt. But don't think that the Pembroke is doing much better. It isn't known for sure, but most historians believe that the Pembroke Welsh Corgi dates back to sometimes around 1100 BC. They were brought to Wales when these Flemish people migrated there. History fact, Flemish is a Dutch word for stupid son of a bitch. That dog breed decided to f*** the original Cardigan Corgi, and it produced the stupid little tailless Corgis that we see today. This is what happens when you don't wear protection, kids. You end up making an entire breed of dogs with no tail. Number 7. The Kettle Club used to consider both breeds as one. In 1925, an age that wasn't exactly known for having the most intellectual people, the Kennel Club had both breeds of Corgi brought together as one. This led to a lot of stress with breeders who would show them in competition. The judges did this because oftentimes a judge would favor one breed over the other. So because they didn't have any balls, the judges decided to avoid conflict and just bring the 2 together. However, after nearly a decade of strife, they showed that they really are a bunch of bitches and broke under the pressure. The 2 breeds of Corgis were separated again, and it has remained that way ever since. Number 6. Corgis were originally used to herd sheep. Back in the days of the 10th century, the Welsh people didn't know how to build fences. What a bunch of f***ing idiots. Pastures were considered common land, so in order to keep a farmer's cattle together and separated from the other herds, they would set loose their Corgis to round them up and keep them in groups. Oftentimes, you would hear of other big dog breeds that would be tasked with rounding up cattle. You wouldn't necessarily think that a short-ass Corgi would be good at it, but they ran around a bit the ankles of all the cows and got them to where they needed to go. It was not only effective at pissing the cattle off, but because of their short stature, the cows couldn't even kick them properly. So they just did what the Corgi wanted them to do. Number 5. According to Welsh legends, fairies ride Corgis. Okay, relax. We know this sounds like some made-up shit, and even though we love to embellish things a bit here and there, we always tell the truth. And this is completely true. The Welsh thought of Corgis as enchanted dogs that were favored by fairies and elves, and gamer chicks with really big boobs. At night, the creatures would come out of their halls or dens or some shit, we don't know, we aren't Welsh. But when they came out, they used the dogs to pull their carriages and be their steeds in battle. Right, we have some questions for all you Welsh people out there. If the fairies were riding the Corgis into battle, then what is small enough for the fairies to fight? Also, we thought fairies had wings. Why didn't they just fly in? Why do they need to ride on the backs of these short bitches? We just pointed out like 400 plot holes that someone needs to explain. So if you're Welsh, leave a comment and let us know. If you're not Welsh, leave a comment anyways and tell us what you think. To the best comment, we'll send you a Corgi via UPS ground. The box may be a bit chewed up and the Corgi will probably be dead, but we'll still do it. Number 4. The royal family loves the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. In the great land of England, the royal family is considered to be the epitome of posh or loveless marriages. Who knows? Anyways, this family simply loves Corgis. As a matter of fact, in the 534 years since Queen Elizabeth II has been alive, she has owned more than 30 Corgis. Her most recent 2 actually passed away. Their names were Whisper and Willow. Let's take a moment of silence for them. With that out of the way, we should take this time to point out that the Queen's first Corgi had an awesome name. We should preface this by saying that this fact is 100% true. The dog's name was Dookie. Some of us will think of turds, others will think of some kick-ass music from Green Day. Queen Elizabeth II and her saggy skin will think of her first dog when she thinks of Dookie. Number 3. People used Corgis to predict the name of Princess Charlotte. In the spring of 2015, Prince William and Kate Middleton were awaiting the birth of their second child. People all over the world were anxiously awaiting the royal couple to announce what they would name the baby. Commoners were already taking bets on the name. One gambling company called Ladbroke decided the best way to predict the name was to let loose a horde of Corgis with vests that had different names written on them. They would race to predict what the child's name would be. The race began and these stupid-looking furballs were running like crazy. Which name happened to win? You guessed it, Alexandra. What a stupid f***ing dog. A few weeks later, Charlotte was born, and that dog was put to death and served to the princess as her first solid meal. Number 2. The word Corgi means dwarf dog in Welsh. We're not sure who should be more offended at this fact, dwarves or Corgis. But then again, Corgis are just dogs, so f*** them. To the little people community, we apologize. However, we still have to talk about it because, well, it's a fact. Remember the legend that fairies rode these dogs into battle? It makes sense that their long, short, stupid-looking bodies would be the perfect animal for fairies to ride. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, cor means dwarf and gi means dog. And that's all we have for that. Number 1. Southern California hosts a huge Corgi meetup. So, there are conventions and group meetings for all sorts of people, from those who share the same interests to desperate singles who can't get a date. Well, there is actually a huge event for Corgi lovers as well. In 2012, there was a humble event that was started called SoCal Corgi Beach Day, and it attracted 15 dogs and their owners. However, the time one of these meetups happened, over 1,100 dogs attended. Now, we're all about giving dogs love, but holy shit, there's a limit. You're taking these dogs on a group playdate to the beach. Most people don't even do that with their own children. We don't know about you, but this is a certain level of creepy. So, what are some things you know and love about Corgis? Drop us a line in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe before you leave. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.